Welcome. I do hope you're having a wonderful day during these strange times. My pick of cards are dedicated to teaching tarot, astrology, and numerology. You'll get your answers as you would with any other online reading. But my goal here is to teach you how to do it yourself, without the help of a reader such as myself. Today we have 3 piles. Pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. One or more will draw your attention. As you focus, I will explain what planetary retrogrades are and how they affect us. Feel free to skip into the pile if you desire. When planets are in retrograde, they cause the optical illusion of moving backwards. Since as above as below, during these periods we often have the illusion of going back into the past or having the past rise from the ashes. It's merely an illusion. The past in the present is no longer the past. We are now in different energies and therefore it simply can't be the same. It might feel like old energy, but it's actually brand new energy with a nostalgic taste. Our goal during these periods should be to heal conscious or subconscious wounds and break down mental illusions. Slowing down and focusing within with an introspective point of view often lessens the inconveniences caused by the retrogrades, since it allows us to go with the flow instead of resisting what the universe might be trying to tell us. These are energies that will adjust to which of the planets is in retrograde. The most famous one, Mercury retrograde, is known for electronical disturbances and annoying delays. Why? Because it brings up to the surface illusions and wounds in technology and transportation, aka faulty programming and weak hardware. It's better to endure some bad luck now and fix it than causing big disasters later on. This will also apply to communication in general, It will highlight misunderstandings as a way to hopefully increase empathy and charisma in the future. The best way to understand the Mercury retrograde is to think of it as a course or teaching or lesson in Gemini and Virgo energies. Geminis are great at social interactions in general. They have an easier time connecting to both their outer and inner societies. Virgos are very detail-oriented, being able to process and analyze large amounts of information. We are usually mentally organized and have plans from A to Z for every single situation. We are quite boring, yes we are. Now let's see who wants to pop back into your life or bring you a few challenges and why, starting with pile 1. So we have Aries, the brave and the bold, and Gemini. This combination is very oriented towards a fierce engagement with the outer world. Both are masculine energies. Regardless of gender, this person is very action-oriented and talkative. I wouldn't be surprised if they are someone that tends to overwork themselves into a burnout, possibly currently in a leadership position at their job. If this person was a beverage, they would be an energy drink. Aries rules the head, and Gemini is the sign of mental fragmentation. So this would be someone with an active mind, very headstrong. They may be driven by thought-provoking conversations and have a tendency to talk, with a disproportionate amount of listening. Occasionally, they could also be prone to giving people a piece of their minds when someone steps on their toes. But at least this is not a person that holds down grudges. They are very at home with debates and even arguments. To them, it's like a sparring match, an epic rap battle. If you don't feel the same way, make sure to be a diplomat. Find a practical solution instead of fueling the fire. I don't feel this is an unreasonable person, just somewhat impulsive, feisty, passionate, but not very into deep emotions. They like to help and tend to the people they love, keep them safe and warm. But you do need to directly ask them for things. Don't expect them to guess your needs on their own. Also, possibly deeply impatient, and I mean comical levels of impatience, you know. Please keep in mind that this could be someone you might meet in the future, as well as your current partner, a non romantic connection, or it can even represent your own energy. This can also indicate that the retrogrades you might find more challenging are Mars and Mercury. To understand how to read these two signs together, let's briefly analyze what happens when Mars, the ruler of Aries, transits Gemini. An improved interest towards achieving goals or ambitions, an increased sense of humor and less boredom, a tendency for erratic multitasking, an ardent desire to communicate, a sudden boost in confidence and curiosity, which might lead to shameless intrusions of privacy, by the way. It influences us to be more assertive and fight for our beliefs in a logical way. And it sponsors exploration instead of commitment. Okay, so we see the Ace of Cups and the Queen of Wands. So possibly a romantic reading. Let's see. And we have the Three of Wands looking from afar at the Queen of Wands. Quite interesting. But let's get the actual cards. So we have the Knight of Wands with a little peek from the sun. The Empress. The Ace of Wands, lots of fire. And the Tower. Okay. This reading has an immense amount of fire energy. This is most definitely someone that is coming back because they have an immense desire for you. Regardless of gender, they see you as their empress, but I'm not entirely sure they are an equal match quite yet. This is a knight, not a king, nor the emperor. I wasn't expecting an 18 plus card tutorial, but with this energy, it's impossible not to go there. Young ones, pick another pile or move ahead into the numerology lesson. Off you go now. What the Tower, the Knight, and the Ace of Wands have in common is phallic imagery. The handheld wand and the tower can literally represent, one's manhood, with the lightning striking the tower signifying a climax. The tower usually doesn't have this meaning, but on a reading like this, it might. It could, however, have a double meaning. I don't think the tower would come out just for this. Something unexpected probably happened to them. I also just noticed that the Empress is holding a scepter as well. You are definitely the center of this person's fantasies and desires. I will need the oracle cards to ensure this knight wants something more long-term. Because with Aries, Gemini, and these cards, it does indicate a fiery passion so freaking feisty that it's not humanly possible to last very long. Right now, I'm not sure if they are capable of handling the routine and stability required for a steady relationship. Since this is a tutorial, I do need to teach that this is a combination that would show up for a Don Juan. Like that song from TLC, No Scrubs. But notice we don't have any narcissistic cards so far, like the Devil or the Five of Swords. However, we don't have any cups either, which represent love. It's all fire, no water. But this doesn't necessarily mean this person is a player. It just means that the reason they are returning into your life is fueled by desire and relief instead of something more solid. With the Tower, something unexpected might have happened to them, and now they want the Empress to make them feel better. We need more energies. Let's move on to the Lenormand reading. Oh, we have key, number 33, which is a 6. And clouds, another 6. They are both number 6. These two cards combined mean the desire to find clarity or a solution regarding a situation, to be open about something that was once a secret, wanting to clear up a misunderstanding, finding a way out of a seemingly hopeless situation, trying to be open to new ideas but being very confused about them. I would say there's a possibility that they want to clean up the mess they made with you in the past, hopefully falling back into your arms. However, it's much more likely that something happened in their external world and they want your advice, help, and comfort. With so much 6 energy, I'm much more inclined for the second theory. This is a possible reference to work environments, karmic partners, or toxic coworkers, and perhaps health problems. Let's see what comes up with my oracle cards. Okay, Star of Bethlehem, number 29, an 11 or 2. And let's see. Mustard, number 21, a 3. Number 29 is not the best number to start off a numerology tutorial, since it's quite advanced. What both numbers 2 and 9 have in common is a deep connection to the moon. So out of all number combinations for number 2, this is one of the darkest ones, regarding the emotions that arise after something unexpected has happened. Note that 11, or Uranus, can refer to a shocking change. Yes, it does seem that this person most definitely had a Tower moment. Star of Bethlehem is a card that represents someone dealing with the after effects of a life-altering experience. The shock of serious news, the loss of someone dear, the fright following an accident, and such like. I'm not sure or all oracles, decks, were designed considering numerology, but that's why I resonate with the ones that I use. Mustard, on the other hand, is a card for those feeling depressed or gloomy. It's about learning to bring joy, the energy of number 3, back into our daily lives when we are feeling down or in great distress. And I do believe this person wants you to soothe their pain and sorrows. The Empress, which is also a 3, is a bringer of joy and nurture. Let's finish with my itching cards. Okay. Okay, we have Intimacy, number 53, an 8. And what do we have? A New Beginning, number 24, another 6. All cards in this reading are very coherent. They appear to have feelings for you and desire a new chance, even if rushed by wanting a shoulder to cry on. To them you are a sunshine, someone very loving, appealing, and caring. Intimacy is an 8 card, a number that is very connected to Scorpio and Pluto, energies that are very driven by sexual desire and the need to deeply understand a partner, hence the term intimacy. A New Beginning is a 6, which is linked to Venus, the planet of connections. In this case, regarding love, since both 2 and 4 are numbers that seek partnership and stability. So far we had a logical analysis of the reading, and now let's have a more intuitive exercise. A reading needs to adapt regarding the energy of the person in question. The same cards and numbers will have different meanings for people with overall low, medium, or high vibrations. Imagine the person in your mind and meditate for a few seconds with the intention to feel their energy. It's perfectly normal for us to drop in vibration during troubling times, But consider that the energy of someone that is often predatory and narcissistic is very different from someone empathic having a temporary low. Here are some final advices for the 3 most likely types of energy. In a normal vibration, this is a person that tends to cut away their more vulnerable sides, locking them in the subconscious mind, in order to not drop their guard to the world, probably. They may have grown in an environment where crying or taking time for themselves was viewed as shameful. They possibly see sex as the only way to show and process feelings, but what they truly need is a safe space to be vulnerable without being attacked. To learn that life doesn't always have to be logical. Sometimes decisions can be made purely from emotional decisions. Hating a job, for example, is enough of a sign to start seeking a new one. Someone with a higher vibration, used to spirituality, can research the concept of integration or soul retrieval, the ability to bring back sides of themselves that were cast aside, or seek a form of therapy that they feel resonates with them. However, in a low predatorial vibration, this is someone hoovering old connections. A narcissist that ran low on their narcissistic supply and wants to refill it, leaving again after they are done. If this is something you never heard of, I recommend researching the terms narcissist and hoovering, even if it wasn't the case for your person, just to be aware and immune to people that actually live like this. I hope this helps and that you found this reading informative. I will now show the prayer that came out with your card. This deck has prayers from all over the world, and the one that came out for you was the Lord's Prayer. So thank you, Pile 1. I really enjoyed doing this for you. See you next time or on one of the other piles if you feel driven to do so. Thank you. Goodbye. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's see who either wants to pop back into your life or bring you a few challenges during the retrograde season. Okay. So we start with Taurus, my slow and steady fellows. And let's see. Come on. And Capricorn. Both earth signs that are very driven by financial success and abundance. Regardless of gender, this person is very stable, hardworking, possibly even a bit of a workaholic. I wouldn't be surprised if this is someone with a position of power within a company or institution. Please keep in mind that this could be someone you might meet in the future, as well as your current partner, a non-romantic connection, or it can even represent your own energy. This can also indicate that the retrogrades you might find more challenging are Venus and Saturn. This has the energy of a parental figure, not necessarily your father or mother, but the personality of a person that likes to be seen as a provider or a mentor. Someone very traditional that enjoys sticking to routines. They could be older than you, but even if they are younger, this is someone that acts very maturely, perhaps even broody. Their sense of fun and joy probably involves exploring the finer things in life, like eating at deliciously amazing restaurants or taking a small trip to a wine-tasting vineyard. Taurus does bring some pleasure-seeking into the strict Capricorn attitude, but both always aim for the best. It's very possible that they feel deeply connected to music. Taurus brings aptitude for musical skills, and Capricorn the dedication necessary to actually learn an instrument or sing. Surprisingly, they could be stingy, but not because they like the green, because they might fear being seen as a sugar daddy or mama. They want a genuine romance, nothing less will suffice. But the partner would never lack any necessities or fear not having support to achieve their dreams. Speaking of green, I believe they might really like this color, emerald green. This person's vibe feels like a rainy day with a hot black coffee by the fireplace. If you don't want them back, I'll take them, pile too. This is a very cozy person. Mr. Darcy. It's a Pride and Prejudice reference. But I don't think their life is easy. Capricorn often brings an abundance of obstacles and headaches, especially because this is not a flexible type. They are definitely very stubborn, smart but headstrong, pessimistic, and definitely prideful. Someone that is nice and attentive, but sometimes an arrogant prick, a pompous little twat. Prone to believe in their own point of view even when faced with all evidence to the contrary. To understand these energies better, let's analyze the transit of Venus, the ruler of Taurus, in Capricorn. The drive to redefine or prioritize your moral values. A strong sense of duty and responsibility. Commitment and loyalty versus exploration and adventure. Relationships and friendships will be taken much more seriously. An attraction towards high-achieving and trustworthy potential partners. For my fellow singles, obviously. Possibly, you'll be more careful with purchases. Quality over quantity. A desire to invest in long-term stability and abundance. Let's see some tarot cards to see what they might want and to further complement his energy. We have Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Now we have the Four of Pentacles looking at the Ace of Wands. Four of Pentacles is a very Capricorn-y energy too. Let's see. Okay, so we have Strength with a peek from the Ace of Cups. So possibly romantic. Okay, the Justice card. The Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Oh, and the Ace of Wands did decide to come out. As I thought, this is very likely a romantic reading for most viewers. I believe that what they want is to form a power couple, and they believe you might fit the right requirements. I never dated a Capricorn, but I did hear that the beginning feels more like a job interview than an actual date. For some, it might be a very literal interview at first, the presentation of an opportunity to join them in some sort of project. It's possible you met or will meet this person in a career setup, and they are very curious about you, but they are not the type to jump in. They rather slowly size you up to see if there's compatibility. With the Strength and Justice cards, it's possible that there was once an occasion where you put down their ego and influenced them to be fair and take some steps into correcting some injustices they themselves might have caused. Something you might not even know, as this is someone that only does things when they believe it's their own idea, even if you actually suggested it. This impressed them and made them wonder what it would be like to have you as their right arm. I really do feel I'm doing a reading for Elizabeth Bennet. If you never paid attention to the book or movie Pride and Prejudice, what are you waiting for? Sorry, back to the tutorial. In this case, the Strength card, a Leo energy, explains you might be more diplomatic, empathic, and charismatic than they are, which can be useful motivational tools. They might be more grumpy and harsh, with abnormal expectations towards reputation and results. but a good and fair person. That's why the Justice card is here. This is a very, very earthy person, so they will move slowly. Don't expect a fast-paced courtship or relationship, especially with a Knight of Pentacles. This knight likes to build very solid foundations. But there is enough fire here to kickstart things, considering the Ace of Wands. They might be enticed, but they will take the long rightful road. It's time to get some more cards. Let's see what comes out of my Lenormand deck. Interesting, we have a mice, number 23, a 5. And what do we have? Ring. We have ring, number 25, a 7. For tutorial's sake, I do need to explain that this combination often means alliances with corrupt individuals, partners in crime, false promises with mischievous or criminal intentions, low vibrational unhealthy relationships or connections, slander and rumors regarding a union. However, for this specific case, what my intuition tells me is that this person lives in a corrupt or sick environment, either family or work, possibly both. This person does feel like someone that would be born into wealth, so he probably inherited a nightmare. They know that if they officialize a relationship with you, you would be dragged into this. Therefore, it's better to keep you safely at arm's length. They don't want to lose you, but winning at the Game of Thrones they are in will take time. Mice can also mean disease. They could work at hospitals or other areas of the health industry. I also feel a bit of a Cinderella energy because of the images. It's possible some coworkers or family members spread rumors and do anything possible to sabotage their happiness. I don't believe they want to continue to live like this, but as a general reading, it will change from person to person. More cards are needed. Let's do the numerology tutorial. We have a vine, number 32, a 5, and rockwater, number 27, a 9. Both these cards are confirming things we already discussed, but they do bring some more insight. Notice that both mice and vine have the same number, but inverted. Vine is a card for people that grew up in strict environments. They were bred for success and were often surrounded by disciplinary caretakers or institutions. This card by itself isn't all that bad. It just usually indicates a person that developed dominant and bossy tendencies, now needing to learn to be more flexible and trusting. But with mice coming out in the same reading, it does show that they grew up in a somewhat corrupt or foul environment. Rockwater is also a card about those who are very disciplined and strict on their way of living, often rejecting any distractions that might interfere with their goals. Usually, this is about people that stubbornly deny themselves small joyful pleasures. But with the Taurus card we got before, I'm not so sure about that. I think this is more about someone that doesn't do anything outside of what their reputation allows them to do so. All of this is actually the shadow side of Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, the planet of strict justice, sacrifices, obligations, and ambition. Sagittarius, a sign connected to number 9, is an example of an archetype that is equally headstrong about achieving ambitions, but much more flexible. They understand that it's all about the journey itself. The goal is just a cherry on top. For them, it makes no sense to suffer for 9 years just to acquire something. They'll achieve the same or something similar, all while living 9 years experiencing all the best pleasures the world has to offer. Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius, is known as the Great Benevolent, for bringing luck and abundance, while Saturn, ruling Capricorn, is the opposite, known as the bringer of bad luck and difficulties like scarcity. In order to explain these numbers, I'll be using the Hierophant and Temperance, the main cards for number 5, since I feel their vibration even if they did not come out during the tarot part of the reading. Number 5 is known as a connection to our truth, our soul. The Hierophant, which is linked to the Taurus sign, represents an outward search for the truth, through religion, materialism, or other outside sources. The other side of this coin, Temperance, a Sagittarius card, is speaking about the same subject, but with an inward perspective. It's connecting to our truth by searching within us. Temperance indicates you have found inner calm and developed a connection to who you truly are deep inside. So far, there have been many indicators that this person might want to find this tranquility, but they are searching in all the wrong places. Number 5 is so often connected to chaos, challenges, and conflict because it represents what happens when we apply all of our focus and blame to the outside world and people. Forgetting the outer world we live in is a reflection of our own inner world. Now let's shuffle my I Ching oracle cards. Oh, that was fast. So we have limitation, number 60, which breaks down to a 6, and mystical union, number 64, which is a 1. Yes, this person feels stuck inside their own castle. It looks majestic on the outside, but only they know what really goes on inside. The image does show a very vibrant green garden around the heart with an open gate, which makes me believe your person has not allowed what surrounds them to crush them. Number 6 can relate to the people around us, possibly enemies or toxic coworkers, jobs regarding service, and health problems. Notice that they are lowering the bridge, either to leave the castle or let someone in. With mystical union, which is a 1, the number of identity, we can see that this person sees you as a counterpart, the moon to the sun. In the image, we see a dark figure holding a pink light one, which makes me feel they don't see themselves as worthy. They feel tainted and burned by their lifestyle. Nevertheless, they do want to open a line of communication, a way for both of you to be in each other's lives more daily, possibly starting with a friendship or a business partnership. This person actually reminds me of someone I know who inherited a wine business only to discover every single thing about it was illegal and filled with debt. They spent years legalizing and paying for everything, developing some serious health issues due to all the stress. If possible, help this person enjoy life more without money involved, just because they need to realize money is important, but it's not the key to happiness. Quality of life comes from gratitude for all the little things before the day we realize that they were actually the big things. So far we had a logical analysis of the reading, and now let's have a more intuitive exercise. A reading needs to adapt regarding the energy of the person in question. The same card and numbers will have different meanings for people with overall low, medium, or high vibrations. Imagine the person in your mind and meditate for a few seconds with the intention to feel their energy. It's perfectly normal for us to drop in vibration during troubling times, but consider that the energy of someone that is often predatory and narcissistic is very different from someone empathic, having a temporary low. Here are some final advices for the 3 most likely types of energy. In a normal vibration, pull the Taurus side out of them, their pleasure-seeking personality, because the Capricorn side is far too overactive. Money is useless unless we actually apply it. but keep in mind this is someone that suffered a lot for financial gain. So never do I say anything that makes you accidentally sound like a bit of a gold digger. And in case of marriage, expect or even request prenuptial agreements. The key to reaching this person is to show them that while everyone wants financial safety and a certain level of abundance, not everyone is a greedy snake. Good people do exist. Show them they can be loved for who they are, not what they provide. For a high vibration, someone open to spiritual knowledge, they need to realize the outer world is a reflection of the inner world. What we give is what we get. When we want something to change, we need to change it first. For example, if they are surrounded by liars, they should first stop lying to themselves and to others. Here on Earth, things won't change overnight, but it does work. Eventually, they won't be a vibrational match to liars, and they will no longer be a daily negative aspect in their lives anymore. In a low vibration, someone narcissistic and predatorial, be very careful. Dealing with one is hard enough. Dealing with an entire snake's nest is a whole other level of a nightmare. Watch the movie Knives Out, you'll see what I mean. Actually, if you resonate with this pile, watch it regardless of the person's energy level, just to gain some empathy regarding their situation. I hope this helps and that you found this reading informative. I'll now show the prayer that came out in your card. This deck has prayers from all over the world, and the one that came out was from an ancient Sanskrit text. Thank you, Pile 2. See you next time or on one of the other piles. Thank you. Welcome, Pile 3. We will now start your reading. Let's see who either wants to pop back into your life or bring you a few challenges during the retrograde season. Let's start with my astrological cards. So we have Libra and let's see. Ooh, we have Taurus. So it's a Venus tutorial, the planet that rules both the signs. Venus represents the way we show love and relate to others, the power to unite. Venusian people, regardless of gender, live to enjoy what this planet has to offer, the good vibes, the comfort, the connections, the luxury, the feelings, the romance. What will determine whether or not you are dealing with a grounded Taurus or Libra is their ability to handle responsibility and stand by their values. In other words, if they are balanced in their masculine and feminine sides or not. Even the Empress, which is a Venus card and the most feminine energy of the deck, is balanced. In fact, she is the sum of all four queens: Pentacles, Swords, Cups, and Wands. She is nurturing and loving while being driven, disciplined, and diplomatically assertive. Don't mess with her. You'll feel like a donut hole and the Emperor will crush you. This archetype in an ungrounded vibration will dislike boundaries and the word no. They will live to be pampered and praised while doing as little as possible. They will especially be crippled in their ability to make choices. Instead, they will prefer others to do them for them. On the other hand, grounded Venusians are amazing. They have very solid values and morals, but are willing to flexibly evolve them, which gives them the ability to be fair peacemakers and diplomats, capable of true empathy with all sides while standing their ground for themselves and for others in a just manner. They are determined to ensure everyone lives in a fair, abundant, and pleasant environment, often building homes that are sanctuaries for themselves and those around them. Jupiter gets the reputation for being the teacher, but so is Venus. The difference is that Venus can teach and enrich the heart of anyone, while Jupiter focuses on the ones that show the most potential and determination. Both signs also enjoy the beauty and luxuries in life, but when grounded, they are able to acquire them easily themselves, even if receiving gifts is always natural to them. They will do so by dancing with life, following what brings them joy, which is often artsy. They weren't made to hustle like Capricorn or Aries and are not accustomed to physical labor. Even when they are hard workers, they do it with love for the process itself, instead of just the end result or the paycheck. Libras might prefer free, open love, while Taurus will love the classical soulmate relationship type. Both will struggle when the passion starts to fade, since Venus is a planet of love. But Libras are more likely to move into the next romance, while Taurus will often be their stubborn selves and fight to keep the romance going, sometimes even when it's one sided. We are born into a sign in order to learn that area of knowledge, so we can't expect Libra and Taurus natives to be masters of relationships. It's like a doctor that just entered their first internship. Sometimes it's the other signs that have a mature connection to their own Venus, depending on its placement on the natal chart. Let's get some energies to understand this Venusian a bit better. We start off with the Judgment and the Star, which is wonderful. But let's see which cards actually come out. The Death and Star, Desperation and Hope. Allow me to shuffle a bit. Okay, the Page of Cups is the first card. And the Two of Swords, with a peek from the Knight of Cups. The Eight of Wands actually came out pretty fast, which is ironic because it's a fast card. And the Four of Pentacles, which came out slowly because it's a slow card. Let's see. I sense this person is being represented by the Page of Cups and the Two of Swords, while the viewer would be the Eight of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. But it could be the other way around, as they say it. Take it as it resonates. I'm saying this because the Page of Cups is a baby Empress and the Four of Pentacles is a baby Emperor. Both of you have that potential to be at the top of the game in this lifetime. But for one reason or another, neither person is at their full power at the present moment. For this person, I sense they can't be their Venusian Empress self, regardless of gender, because you seem to be in some sort of separation. They lack information and attention. They're not the type to reach out, but if you do, they will flourish. The Page of Cups can also indicate psychic messages or dreams, so they may reach out and send you love through the 5D, but not the 3D. I honestly feel they just want to offer you their love, but this is someone that appreciates knowing they are desired. They won't fire a blind shot. They want the chance to steal your heart, make some fun memories, and get to know you better. You know, dine out, have some drinks, perhaps a small trip or adventure. For the Eight of Wands and the Four of Pentacles, keep in mind this is possibly how they are perceiving the situation. But there is a Two of Swords here, blocking access to reality for both of you. They might theorize you do not move forward or open yourself more because something struck down your foundations. They understand you are not at the top of your game because of some sudden change that took the rug from under you. Therefore they wait, but it's possibly taking a bit too long. It's also possible someone was overly flirty and the other person took a backstep and entered their turtle shell mode. I feel this relationship might be in the first stages. Perhaps it would be better to invest in the paces, the friendship, and worry about courtship and commitment later on. We all feel more confident when our life and emotions are put together, but keeping this person in the dark is possibly not helping. Perhaps they can assist with whatever is happening. Venusians often have the ability to elevate the vibration and make you feel confident and valued. We need more energies. Let's move to the Lenormand part of the reading. Okay. Let's see. This is a slow one. Bear with me. Okay, so we have Crossroads, number 22, a 4, and they usually don't take this long, just so you know. Ring, number 25, which is a 7. With a 22, which is a master number, and also a 4, the number of heart chakra and home safety, they have passion for you but are pondering where this connection might lead, since 7 is the number of choices and commitment to soul contracts. This combination of cards can often mean deliberations regarding a relationship, choosing commitment to a path, making a promise to a decision, or contradictory promises, to delay fulfilling a promise or a commitment. Even the cards took a lot of time to come out. The message is so direct and clear that I'm going to add more oracle cards. Let's see what comes out. Okay, we have Centauri, number 4, and we have White Chestnut, number 25 and 8. Centauri is a card that is similar to a reversed Emperor. It encourages us to not deny our own needs, to say no and be assertive, to follow our own path, unconstrained by others' thoughts and feelings. It's good to have a good nature and be of service, but it shouldn't reach a point where we are neglecting our mission and our desires, especially if we are now starting to enable others. To be an emperor, we should serve by inspiring others with our success. 4 is the number of boundaries and standards, which bring safety and desired outcomes. White Chestnut, on the other hand, indicates too much mental activity to the point of torment. The difficulty to prevent thoughts, ideas, arguments we do not desire from entering our minds. Number 8 can indicate something very karmic happened. With the 2 cards, I really do feel something happened to either you or your person that shook the throne and made you both vulnerable and unsure. Therefore, they might be distant instead of investing in a relationship. Since this is a general reading, I don't know exactly what happened, but I feel that it was something caused by lack of boundaries, blind trust, and being too nice to the point of enabling misbehavior. Let's see the final set of cards. Okay. Complementarities, solidarity, number 8, and what do we have? Okay, waiting, number 5. This is a wonderful combo. The first card represents the Empress and Emperor, divine connection balance. And number 8 is a number of transformations. Keep focusing on leveling up, on raising your standards, achieving goals, and creating new ones. Always up your game. Even if you're a full house already, you can always turn into a royal straight flush. The sky's the limit. Look at the waiting card. It does seem appropriate to request or respect space if someone had something suddenly set them back in life. But life doesn't stop meanwhile. Enjoy this time and don't be afraid to go on with your own journey. Live your best life. 5 is a number of freedom. Overall, this reading has a lot of 4s and 8s. 4 is all about stability and safety, while 8 is transformation and success. According to the universal laws, it's impossible and very uncomfortable to remain the same. We are always expanding, and everything that starts will have an end, even the good things. Trust divine timing. Everything that belongs to you will always come back. Meanwhile, focus on taking your Empress or Emperor self into a whole new level. So far, we had a logical analysis of the reading, and now let's have a more intuitive exercise. A reading needs to adapt regarding the energy of the person in question. The same cards and numbers will have different meanings for people with overall low, medium, or high vibrations. Imagine the person in your mind and meditate for a few seconds with the intention to feel their energy. It's perfectly normal for us to drop in vibration during troubling times, but consider that the energy of someone that is often predatory and narcissistic is very different from someone empathic having a temporary low. Here are some final advices for the 3 most likely types of energy. For a normal vibration, remember the best relationships are built on friendship and trust, which takes time. Venusians tend to be charming with everyone and everything in their communication style, but that doesn't mean they are trying to flirt their way out of the friendship stages or cheating. I'm actually one. Trust me, it's a gift and a curse at the same time. Usually, we are just really captivating and magnetic to everyone. But if their intentions are real, they'll have no problems proving they are trustworthy. However, keeping them in the dark, cutting off communication, or delaying decisions is probably not helpful. Treat them as you would like to be treated. For a high vibration, someone used to spiritual concepts, it's possible they are so empathic and lovely that they have trouble setting and maintaining boundaries. Standards and solid moral values are beyond important. Imagine a planet without an atmosphere or a house without a door. Both the Emperor and the Empress are masters at doing this, but one is more blunt and the other one more diplomatic. Assertivity, when done right, is an act of love. Enabling is never helpful. Trust me on that. For a low vibration, this is someone that does not respect your opinions, boundaries, values, or requests, possibly trying to manipulate you into convincing you they are wrong, which is called gaslighting. Research that term along with narcissism. Your standards don't have to make logical sense to others. Trustworthy people respect them, even when they don't really understand them. I do hope this reading helped. This is the prayer card that came out. It's from the 12th century. Thank you so much for your time. Please like and subscribe, and see you in the next video or in one of the other piles. Thank you, Pile 3. Goodbye.